The Battle of the Bulge, a pivotal moment in World War II. The Battle of the Bulge was a significant battle in World War II that happened during the winter of 1944 to 1945. This battle was fought between the Allies, mainly the United States, United Kingdom, and other nations, and Nazi Germany. Setting the stage before the Battle of the Bulge, the Allies had made progress in Europe. They had successfully landed in Normandy, France, on D-Day in June 1944 and were pushing the Germans back. But by December 1944, the German leader, Adolf Hitler, wanted to try one last big attack. His goal was to split the Allies' forces and capture a vital port called Antwerp in Belgium. If he could do this, it might change the course of the war. The German attack. On December 16, 1944, the German army launched a surprise attack in a region called the Ardennes. This area was covered in dense forests, making it hard for the Allies to see the German army coming. The attack was a surprise, and it caught the Allies off guard. The Germans had more than 400,000 troops, including some very skilled soldiers from the Waffen-SS. They quickly overran some American units, and many American soldiers were captured. The town of Bastogne in Belgium was surrounded and under siege by the Germans. The American response. Even though they were surprised, the American soldiers didn't give up. In Bastogne, the 101st Airborne Division, led by General Anthony McAuliffe, was ordered to hold the town at all costs. When the Germans demanded their surrender, General McAuliffe famously replied with one word: nuts. This meant the Americans wouldn't surrender, and they held Bastogne, which was vital for the Allies' plans. The weather during this battle was harsh. It was very cold, and many soldiers weren't properly equipped for winter conditions. Some soldiers suffered from frostbite, hypothermia, and trench foot due to the cold and wet weather. Allied comeback. One important factor that helped the Allies was the weather. At first, the fog and bad weather prevented the Allies from using their planes. But when the weather cleared, the Allies regained control of the skies. This meant they could provide air support to their ground forces. The clear skies also made it easier for the Allies to attack the Germans. The German supply lines, which were already strained, became even more fragile. This meant the German soldiers on the front lines didn't get the supplies and reinforcements they needed. General Patton's role. General George S. Patton played a key role in the Allied response. Despite facing difficulties because of bad roads and the winter weather, his Third Army managed to make a fast pivot and reach the front lines. This helped relieve the pressure on Bastogne. Patton's forces, along with other Allied troops, fresh reinforcements, and air support, made it very hard for the German offensive to continue. Turning the tide. As time passed, the Battle of the Bulge turned into a long and tough fight. The German forces were under a lot of pressure from all sides. The Americans, British, Canadians, and French all joined the fight against the Germans. By the end of January 1945, the German offensive had failed. The Allies not only held their lines but also started pushing the Germans back. The Battle of the Bulge had come at a high cost. Many soldiers on both sides were killed, wounded, or captured, and many towns and villages were destroyed. A turning point. The Battle of the Bulge was a crucial moment in World War II. It showed that the Germans couldn't turn the tide of the war in their favor. They had spent a lot of their resources and suffered heavy losses in this failed attempt. For the Allies, it was a reminder that even when it seemed like they were winning, the war was far from over. But their ability to adapt, endure, and ultimately win was evident during this battle. The battle ended in late January 1945, and the war in Europe continued for a few more months. The Allies kept advancing and liberating territory from the Nazis. In April 1945, Adolf Hitler's hopes for a long-lasting Nazi regime crumbled as the Allies got closer to Berlin, and the German surrender became certain. The Battle of the Bulge remains a symbol of the bravery of those who fought and the sacrifices made by soldiers on both sides. It's a reminder that even in the toughest conditions and darkest times, humans can find the strength to overcome challenges and prevail. This battle played a significant role in the eventual victory of the Allies in World War II.